Good afternoon, sorry.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you today?
I am fine.
Great. I'm here today replacing Yasmin, okay? So, you guys, it's the first time of you here in the platform, Iago and Adriana.
No, I think it's just my first time with you.
No, it's my first time with you too.
Okay, great. Uh, I'm an English host here in the platform as well, and Spanish, but I'm a hosting all other times, in the evening and in the morning. Mas você consegue entender bem, Adriana, quando eu falo inglês, tranquilinho, toda a conversação?
Yes, yes.
Ah, great.
The most words I understand.
Great. It's like that. How more we listen to other people, more we develop also. Today we are going to talk about one very interesting topic that was a big mark in our lives, right? Pandemic years. I think we have plenty to talk about that. I'm going to place the questions here on the chat for you, okay? See, just 1 second. And then the other ones. Can you see this? Great. So I'm going to introduce the platform and then we're going to start the talk, all right? We are here in an English conversation platform that is Talk and Talk. And here we can talk in English, Spanish, French, Italian, Mandarin. Soon we are going to speak in German as well. So it's a place where you can speak in many languages. And it's nice because we don't have teachers in this platform. So it's just us, students, and practicing our conversation. And this is a way to improve ourselves. It's like, I really like this way. We are here to exchange experience, and we are not going to correct nobody, okay? As we don't have teacher here, we are not going to correct, and it's a platform where nobody judge anybody. That's a safe environment. So no matter if you make errors in your pronunciation, it's okay. It's the process, right? We make mistakes when we talk. We're learning something new. So the people from YouTube, if you want to know more about the platform, you can access talkandtalk.com.br and you can get more information about the platform, okay? I'm going to introduce myself and then I'm going to ask Iago and Adriana to do the same. I'm Amanda. I live here in Minas Gerais. It's in the north, in a small city on the north, Januária. And I live here with my son, with my husband. We have 2 little dogs. And I'm here in the platform to improve my English because nowadays English is mandatory no matter what, right? If you want to get a good job, you must know English. If you want to travel, it's a good opportunity to learn English as well. So I'm here to improve because I like uh, this language as well. So, and how about you, Adriana? Can you tell me a little bit about you?
Yes, my name is Adriana. I am 24 years old. I am biomedical. I live in two cities. I live in Belém City, e Abaetetuba City, state of Pará, because I study in Belém. Belém is capital state of Pará. But my house is in Abaetetuba. And in my free time, I like listen music. I like watch movies and walk with my mom. Is it?
That's great. Now I understand why you live in 2 places. I say, what? How come you live in 2 places? Now I understand. It's nice. Thanks for sharing your presentation. And you, Iago, can you please introduce yourself? You live in two houses too? You have two places?
No, just one. I almost don't get out of my house, actually.
Two. I'm two.
So my name is Iago. I'm 28 years old. I live in Apoiarés, a small town in Ceará. Very small. We have like 11,000 inhabitants here. It's the kind of place that you know everyone, but I don't because it's not my birthplace. So I know just a few. Um, I have six cats. Me and my husband, we love cats. I like to read, as you six. It's very easy to take care of them. I like to read. I always read something. I like to read one, two or three books at the same times. Sometimes I read a book that is big, and then I go to one that is small, and then I go back and forth to them. So I I I I I don't get bored about just one, you know. I love to listen to music. I I I've been in Belém, Adriana, in 2021. I think it was one of my favorite travels till now. The food is amazing, the best place you can eat. Amanda is from
Yeah.
Minas. I know that Minas the food is good too, but I didn't have the opportunity to meet Minas, so Belém is here for me. The food is amazing. And I think that's it.
But I heard about that they have very good food because we have a host from there. And one immersion, we talk about food, and I was like, oh my goodness, I need to book my trip to go there. It's amazing. Just thinking and just listen to the person talking about their food. Imagine to taste. So must be in my list to go also. And six cats, my goodness. If my dogs see your cats, it's gonna be a big fight because they don't like cats and they run after all the cats that appear here in my garden. Oh my god, poor cats. Like I want to have one, but I can't because they are not friendly at all with dog
I don't know, but
cats.
I think that I always see that sometimes when dogs start to live with kittens, small cats, they usually accept better than an adult cat. I don't know because I think that adult cats are more territorialist too, and the dogs is used to the house, you know. But I think that if you try with a kitten, it might work better than with an adult cat. Although I always recommend to adopt adult cats because usually they are in the how can I say? Uh, I forgot the words, but the houses that take care of them. I forgot totally the words now.
But thank you for your advice. It's something nice. I'm going to talk because my son wants a lot also cats. And I always say, how can we have cats? You see how Lily and Spike behave when we have those cats around us. But I will see. I will start
But
to
your dogs
think.
are big or they are small, medium
And
size?
medium size, but they
Hmm.
are vira-lata, real vira-lata, because we took them from the
Oh,
streets. They are
but I think
caramelo.
I think that they can get used to a cat very easily.
Okay, I will talk with my
Caramelos are
son.
great. They are very.
Because you don't know the two Tasmania I have at home. It's not normal dogs. It's Tasmania dogs. But anyway, let's go to our topic today. Adriana, can you please read question number 2 and answer for us?
Okay. Number two, how did your daily routine change during the pandemic? Um, in my case, was especially in class. In my class, the class changed the presencial for virtual. So change so much my routine because this in my daily the conversation with my friends too. Um, I I don't see my friends in presential. E, um, uh, was was this it in the pandemic.
And you said that you were at school, right? In your school, your college, they were ready for that, for have the online classes or not? Because I know certain places they were already ready for online classes, let's say. They have half classes online, so they know how to deal. But certain school they didn't have at all. So it was like everything was upside down. How about your school? It was school or college?
No, was my university, my uh, my university because it no no.
They were not
Ah,
ready.
eu vou falar em português só um pouquinho.
Você
É,
entendeu a
porque
pergunta, né?
mais ou menos, na verdade.
Se a sua faculdade estava preparada para essa migração para o
Não,
online.
não.
Ah,
Não, não.
tava tudo.
A gente ficou um período sem aulas, na verdade, acho que quase metade do ano sem aula. E aí depois que foi adotado, né, o sistema online. Aí até ter toda essa mudança, aí demorou um pouquinho para a gente se adaptar, para todos se adaptarem.
Yeah, that's what my doubt, because I know certain places was a big problem. My son, for example, at this time he used to study he was 7 years old. He was in a private school. So his private school, they didn't have a preparation for online classes, but they did it. They did it. So every day from Monday to Friday, he was like in the primary school. So every mom should stay next to the son. We couldn't just leave them on the computer. It's mandatory. The school told us to do that. So we sit down there. It was funny because I never studied online before as well. So even the kids, because they start to do some funny stuff is on the camera because it was something new for them. But we were there, listen to A, B, C, how to write. So the teacher show her screen, and the mom at home we do the same, and the teacher talk to us as well and say, "Hey, mom, take his hand and do this, do that." And I was, oh my goodness, I don't have patience. I have patience with my son, but not to teach. That's not my graduation. I'm not a specialist. I really appreciate teachers because they are brave people. And for him was okay because he was having classes online every day.
But
But
he
then,
was learning to write and to read
yeah,
at the time.
yeah, it
Very
was,
difficult.
imagine, it was horrible. And I saw his colleagues on the same age that was in public school. And of course, they didn't have the opportunity to have this. And I see some people like in the third grade, they didn't know how to write with handwriting. They didn't know how to read handwriting. And I was like, oh my goodness. I know that I spent a lot of money in the private school at this time for him, but was I didn't regret because it was worth. But I was very stressed, more stressed. And you, Diago, how was this time for you?
Yeah, for me, at the beginning, I just started at a new job. I was invited to be a tutor to continue it for education for teachers. I think that's the term. I used to be a teacher, but I was invited to do that at that time. Then the pandemic started, and with the shutdowns, I worked for public schools with public school teachers. And my city, they decided to to give an early vacation to the teachers. So like the vacation is usually on July for every teacher, and then they anticipated for April, I think. Yeah, I think it was. And then we only, because we were like, oh, let's wait. It will probably be just 2 weeks, 3 weeks maximum. So, and then the whole month passed and nothing was ready. I I was part of the pedagogical team at the secretary, and no one talked about it on that month. And then we go back, and the teachers need to go back to teach in with remote, and no one was ready. We didn't know how to guide the teachers. We didn't know how to what um, what tools we could use, because we were only getting to know better the things that we had at that time. And I think that the main platform that everybody used was WhatsApp. It was a thing that gets at that time gets me really stressed because I hate using WhatsApp for work. And I think, yeah, and I think it becomes such a personal thing, because later that year I had to replace a teacher, and then I had to teach in the remote, like I don't know, 3 months between August and October, something like that, because I was replacing a teacher. And it was a wild experience, because the the other colleagues were talking all the time. We didn't have any rest. The students usually send messages in the time that you are not supposed to be working, because I don't know. Sometimes they only had the parents' phone, so they only got to take some doubt about the class at the night. At the night, I wasn't working.
My God.
And it was, for me, it was very stressful in the work area, because it not every I didn't know how to reach everyone. At the same time, I was being a tutor for teachers, and teachers used to be very, how can I say, used to be very restrict to new technology. We always play saying that the schools are the last time that technology arrives, because usually is. Teachers are very resistant when it comes to use new technology. And that was something that I saw a lot. And it was very exhausting to talk with other teachers and, oh, what do you think about trying this and trying that? Did you try this way? Did you try to, I don't know, uh, besides only writing a text to the students, did you try to record an audio to explain the subject? Did you try to make a video? And no one was, no, almost everyone didn't want to try these other things that, at my point of view, was things easy to do. We were not talking about, for example, Google Meet. We were not talking about Zoom classes, you know. You was just try send an audio to the student, try send a video.
So simple.
Very basic. And of course, everyone was caught by surprise at the time, but I really saw this struggle to adapt to new technologies and new ways to teach.
Gosh, I'm shocked because I didn't know about this I didn't know about this teacher's perspective. I know about the student's perspective from public school. My son was not there, but we have neighbors that was, and I was already shocked because sometimes they go to school only to take a bunch of papers to do, but the mother don't know how to write also, or they couldn't help the kids because they don't know what to do. They were like, I don't know the word, but like mute people. So I was just shocked. And we used to have meetings on classroom, Google Meet in the classroom. So I start to learn about that because I didn't know also. So they teach us online in a meeting and explain how to use, because we need to give the kids need to do the lesson and we need to attach and this and that. I said, oh, that's good. I learned a lot during the pandemic because actually I used to work at this time. I used to work on cruise ships. So I was on board a cruise ships at this time I was nearby New York. No, at this time it was nearby Miami. And the pandemic looks like it started out there first because people here, the time that I start to listen about this, people in Brazil, you having carnival and those things. And there we already having people sick, even on board, people disembarking because was sick and going and didn't come back, colleagues, and here nobody talking about anything. So I get shocked when this started in Brazil because it looks like it started in different time, right? And for me was a problem because I was working, and when the shutdown started in the US also, they stopped the ships. Nobody could go on board. So all the crew members, we stay on board without guests. And we were scared because we're far away from our countries, from our families. We don't know what's going on. We see people die in China, people from us, like crew members going and didn't come back. And then our ship goes up to New York, and New York get a big problem, get the big the worst area also. And oh my goodness, this was horrible time. I could come home only after 3 months. And then, because there the pandemic started before here, right? Because now I'm in Brazil.
And you were still on that boat
Yes.
for 3 months,
Yeah.
just the crew.
Yeah, but it was horrible because even, it's something like a nightmare because usually we see happy people when we see music and see people talking and this and that. And suddenly we start to see on the sea, like dozens of cruise ships, big cruise ships from other companies, because we stay all nearby next to each other in the Bahamian area. After we couldn't stay nearby US, so we came down to Bahamas because no places want also us to stop by because it looks like we're bringing diseases for them, but the diseases was on shore. It was more safe for us to stay on board, I can say. But the supplies was certain supplies we need to take from onshore. So that's the problem, that maybe some certain diseases come on board and people start to get sick because we were there. People bring from outside, not us from. It was horrible this time. I really don't want to remember. Now I quit this job. When I come back, I don't want to go there anymore because, and then when I come back to Brazil, I start to give classes to my son. So imagine my head, no job, and still need to give online classes. Was a tough moment also for me. But anyway, Iago, can you please read the question number 3 and answer?
What was the most challenging part of the pandemic for you? I think that besides work, as I said already, I think that the most challenging part for me was to not be able to do anything because we were really afraid of going out, even, I don't know, go to the street and do a walk or something like that. We didn't do that. and I was getting very stressed because I wasn't able to exercise, and that was something that I returned to do the year before, I think, and I was really enjoying. And not being able to exercise was getting me stressed. I tried to do some things at home. I started to do yoga, for example, but I don't know. I tried for 1 month and then I don't care about it. And then I think the news was something that got really scary for me because I don't know. I remember that every night we used to watch Jornal Nacional, for example, and we were just seeing the same thing all the time. The numbers are of death was getting higher and higher, and in Brazil was getting more complicated. And I think for me, the news was something that got really into my head. And at some point, we did an agreement at home. We were like, we're not getting any news now, not anymore.
Yeah.
We know what we have to do. We have to stay home, and that's it. Let's stay home. When we have some good news, we will know. But now we only get the bad news all the time, and it's the same kind of news, you know. And when we did that, I started to realize that my stress and my anxiety was getting lower, but still the fear was very present when the team that I used to work, they decided to go like 2 times to the office. It was something that I was really, I don't know if it's the right time because I don't know, it was like um, probably something like August 2020. And we didn't have anything. We didn't have any shot. We didn't know about the vaccines. We didn't have anything about that, you know. And at least me and my husband, we didn't catch COVID any time. I think we had COVID just after the vaccines, actually. But before that, we were at home all the time. I only get out for work like 1, 2 days a week because they asked us to do, but I wasn't comfortable being there. But yeah, I think it was that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Come back to work after this. I mean, if we get the chance to work online from home, it's okay. But to go back to work presential, oh my goodness, was a challenge. I had this problem as well because after the first vaccine they gave, they start to tell us to return. Even if we don't have gas, certain people start to return. And for me, it was a challenge because to leave my son home in a third, so I took maybe 1 year. I was every time they say you need to come, I say I'm coming, but not now. But not now. I stayed 1 year at home, almost 1 year, and then I couldn't say no anymore. So I should go, or I was going to lose my job. And I went and we did, you know, those COVID tests that they put something in your nose. We did this every week on board, crew members, I mean. And I got sick on board because in the catch in the beginning, and I stayed confined inside a room by myself with no windows, no anything for 15 days. For me was, I think my mind went all crazy. I went crazy, I can say. After that, I finished my contract and I didn't come back to work. I quit. This somebody needs to be very strong, or I don't know. I was there already for 12 years, but
It
we
was
never have.
basically a solitary prison, the
You
20
know,
days.
and you know, every day they come, they bring the food for you, exactly like a prison. I can say it's exactly like a prison because oh my goodness, was actually it was not 15 days. For me, it was 13 because they start to see the test, something happened there, and I was okay to go back to work. But still, after the third day that you don't see sun, you don't see anything, it's horrible. It's not even like a prison. Prison, they can have their sun bath every day. It's worse than prison, Iago. But it was nice to work on board. But only this period, if you get sick because of the pandemic, it was horrible. It was not a good experience. And you, Adriana, please.
Oh, in my case, it was my study and my routine my routine cleaning, especially because the pandemic, I adopted my family adopted various habits for cleaning shops, cleaning clothes, cleaning shows, and it's easy. My father job every all day in pandemic. My father is mechanic, so ever to return to my home. Uh, she he take clothes before to enter in house. If was a difficult moment for my family because this the cleaning routines. Today, I kept some habits. For example, cleaning shops, and sometimes when I return to my house, I clean clothes. So some habits my family kept because because uh, the pandemic uh, deixou essa marca.
Yeah. But nowadays you don't do like so crazy, right? You need to put alcohol, how they say in English this? It's not alcohol gel. I forget to say. Sanitizer. You don't sanitize everything with the sanitizer agora, nowadays. Você continua passando álcool gel em tudo e.
Yes.
Really? But it's good to
Yes.
wash your goods. It's,
I wash my hands ever.
I used to
One
have a sanitizer
time, I I kept my alcohol in my
in your bag.
yes.
But those good, if good habits to cleaning your stuff is when you bring from the supermarket, this is something good because actually not only for the COVID or those things, because sometimes cockroach, rats, they can, you know, people in the deposit. We never know because sometimes you come with one can, you open, but can be contaminated. So for me, I do that as well. But I did this before the sanitizer, the alcohol gel comes with pandemic. Before, no. You too, Iago? You use alcohol gel before? No, only after pandemic.
No, only after the pandemic too.
And Adriana, do you have those kind of carpet that you can step and sanitize your shoes? Uns carpetes que você sanitiza o seu sapato. Eu vi algumas pessoas colocando isso na porta.
Yes, in the pandemic, yes, but now,
Não.
now, now, no, no more. But the shoes stay in the area, the service area. Stay,
That's good.
yes.
The
I
Japanese do that.
yes, yes. In my house, I walk the sandals with
These are
sandals of house, Havaiana.
perfect. No, it's good. I do the same, but this comes after pandemic, I can say. But it's a good habit actually to not come inside your house with the shoes that you were walking outside. So we usually have one carpet here that we leave the shoes from outside and take our Havaiana and walk inside the house. That's a good habit. And Adri, can you please read question number 4 for us? We still have more time and answer.
Okay. How did you stay connected with friends and family during lockdowns? Oh, in my case, cow in cell cow, um, we 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 do connect um, with cell phone, uh, videos is it, but my communication my communication with my friends um, is stay at prejudice because I I don't in the period I don't have so much friends, so um, my friends in was my university because the lockdown I don't meet I don't encontrei my friends with every all day. I I I see the in class virtual class. So um, was was prejudice because this. Um, I don't meet new friends. Is it?
Okay, thank you. And you, Iago, it's something similar, right? What's complicated?
Yeah, I think for me, me and some close friends, we started to be on some group chats to talk, and mostly I started to be part of some reading groups. I remember that in 2021, I I signed up for a book club, and then I started to be able to meet new people, to talk to other persons, to other people. Now I have from this book club, I have two really good friends, and with other friends, we did some. I have this book club with other two friends in the pandemic too, because we didn't have much to do. We didn't want to talk about the news. And we were like, okay, let's read something together. And we read a lot of books in that period. That group we are not reading anymore because of the time, but I'm still part of the book club. And in this book club, I have a little small group with these two friends that we read other things together besides the book club. But yeah,
Oh
I
my
think for me it
gosh.
was that. I think that with some friends that I was not that close. I think yeah, it happens like it happens to Adriana too, because I was like, I don't know what to talk, so we become a part of some friends. Some people, even for some people from my family that I wasn't already that close, I become very apart. But yeah, I think that's fine too.
I like it. You start a book. Well, you like to read, so for you it was not that hard. and to make friends that like the same thing. It was great because you could take your mind away from what's happening. I didn't think about that. I was just thinking
Yes.
about this news. Also, for me, it was horrible
Just
because
talking about the bad news.
yeah, and my husband was not here because he is not Brazilian. He was in his country because it's like I was about to finish my contract, so on board. So I finished my contract and I go to Haiti and I come to Brazil. But the frontiers start to close. So the communication for me at this time was WhatsApp, and it was horrible because my family was apart. One on the ship, another one in Brazil, and the other one in Haiti. And with at least we have this group with me, my son, my husband to talk between us to try to be nearby. When we finally get all together in the same place, we come all to Brazil. I think was the safest place to be. Even what was happening there, I say, okay, we have public hospital because I say if Haiti is the poorest country in the Americas. So I was scared to stay there. We live in an island there, but I know that the public hospital was horrible. I say, I cannot stay there because if something happened, we don't have support. So let's go to Brazil. Okay, I come to Brazil, but here was worse. Sometimes because of the politicians as well, because of something horrible happening here. And there in Haiti, they didn't have this kind of thing. Not many people die, not when they get sick, it was like normal flu. Was not this big drama that was happening here. Was if I knew that, I should stay there, not come to Brazil, but it's okay. Iago, question number 10, I think is very nice to answer. Can you read and answer for us?
Yes. How did the pandemic affect your perspective on community and helping others? Um, I really don't know about it because at that time it was like with if we saw something happening, it was like I can't help these people. I can't give any assistance. For example, when my mother and my sister-in-law get sick, we live in the house upstairs, theirs, the house, and they got sick. We were like, we can't go there because we can't have this for us, you know.
Oh
So
my gosh.
it was just like every day. How are you feeling? Are you fine? Are you feeling fine? Did you the can you do you breathe well? Can you breathe well? And it was just like that. But I think that after that, I don't know. For me, I was already always a very open person to help other people. I like to be I don't know how to say prestativo, but I like to be that. And I think that that didn't change that much for me because I think it's something that it comes very naturally for me, you know. So, but yeah, I think that for me, after the pandemic, still, I am still very, uh, I stay too much at home, I think now because I work from home, so I don't go out to see people. I don't have that much contact, and I think that's something that it came with the pandemic too. And that's something that I always discuss with my therapist because she always say you have to go out and see other people. Oh, okay, I'll try that.
Oh boy. It's so safe, it's so secure to be home.
Yes.
The world out there is so crazy. I understand you. I love my house as well. It's so good to stay home. You feel so welcoming, so oh my goodness. But regarding this question, my mom is from the church, Christian church, and her church, they did many uh oh my goodness, I forget the word now. Many campaigns, things like that because many people lost their jobs in the pandemic. And after that, actually not after the pandemic, in the middle of the pandemic, they didn't get any job or any opportunity to buy food or to pay rent, and little things they were not able to do. And not everybody was prepared. I know certain people have some fundo de emergência, right? Emergency fund, so you have your money for 6 months, but I think nobody save so much money for 3 years, almost 3 years, right? And especially poor people, they didn't have this. So the church asked for food, for toys, for anything to give to the kids, because it was so crazy this time. Even for the kids, if they have a new toy, even if it's used, was something good for them to keep their mind playing with the new toy. So just forget the mother was crying, the father was discuss with mom because they lost their job, everybody home. So I feel this thing of community was very present on the church. At least in my neighborhood, when I used to live in São Paulo, they were doing great campaigns about that. They assist many people, and they ask whoever wants. If you don't want to say, just let us know, and we're going to your house. We give you. Don't need to come here to take. Because certain people was also shy, ashamed, because you never beg for anything. Always have your job to buy, to pay. Maybe you were able to help people, and now you need help, and sometimes it's hard for us to ask for help. Say, I need help. I need one package of rice. I need a bunch of foods to eat. For me, I see certain things that was horrible, but hopefully those people are better now. And you, Adriana, how was this in your community?
Oh, is about the 5 question, yes?
Number 10.
Oh,
I jumped down there.
it's 10, maybe. Oh, yes. In my case, I I am Christian, but in my community, um, the meets, I don't know say reuniões, the meets was online, was happened online, online. Um, so sometimes I the peoples arrecadavam um, foods, compras to people's more poor, I don't know say carentes, but help people's em, em doações, in this case. In, I I remember um, is it it's so much difficult um, help to visit the peoples, but helping através to pay donations in my church is easy.
Yeah.
I remember is what is I remember in this pandemic.
Yeah, I see many campaigns of churches mostly, right? And even in my building, because at this time I used to live in in São Paulo, we have a CDHO. It's like uh, public, not public, how do they call that? It's buildings from the government. They pay, but it's not so expensive like a normal one. And at this time, the person that take care of the bills in our apartment, she asked people whoever have one pack of anything just to give to her because she knew one person that was in need because lost the job and didn't want to ask because I know that it's hard to ask for food or something like that. And she make a campaign and give to the person. After all, we discover who was the person because the person come to say thank you for us that give, but we didn't. The person that collect the food, she didn't tell who was the person. But the person, after all, she come and she to thank us because she wanted to know who was the person that helped her. But guys, that was a very interesting topic. It just make us remember the rough times we had over there. But our time is over, almost over. So I want to know your opinion. How was to talk about that, Adriana, for you? You can speak in English or Portuguese. Como foi a experiência de falar sobre a pandemia?
I remember so much things. The period was difficult for me, especially for don't don't meet the persons. So I stay so much restrita e assim, eu vou falar um pouquinho mais em português. Para mim foi bastante difícil, né, esse período, porque a minha família é pequena, né? Então a gente ficou ali só entre nós mesmos e para encontrar com outras pessoas, falar com outras pessoas era muito difícil. Então isso acabou até deixando marcas que continuam até hoje, né? E isso daí é só o mesmo tempo que vai nos tirando mais esse medo, essas coisas, né, que a pandemia acabou deixando na gente, né?
Obrigada, Adri, por compartilhar sua opinião. E sim, com o tempo, terapia e sua fé no que você acredita, às vezes vai fazer com que isso melhore. Eu sei que o Iago faz terapia. E para você, Iago, como foi falar sobre um tópico que marcou tanto a gente, né? Qual a sua opinião?
Eu acho que.
English, if you want to speak in
Ah,
English as well,
yeah.
because
Oh,
Adriana's...
we were talking in Portuguese and my mind just shifted to Portuguese too.
No, it's English.
So yeah, I think when I talk about the pandemic, always there are some things that comes into my mind. And as I said, for example, something that always come to my mind because I know that is a consequence of the pandemic is to go out and see other people. I know that that's something that I need to do. I need to socialize more, because sometimes I don't know, I spend the only place that I go that I am not at home is the gym in the mornings. And in the gym, I don't like to talk to people because I'm there to do what I need to do. So for me, it's not a place to socialize, to meet people. But yeah, I think that that's something that is still something that it's hard for me now. But I'm trying to change some things. Being here, for example, it's an opportunity that I have to socialize with other people and to talk about different topics. And I think it was a great conversation that we had.
Guys, it was very amazing to talk to you too. I didn't met you before in any opportunity, but maybe one day you can come in my immersion. We don't have more time to talk, but it was a pleasure to have you here. I hope you have a nice weekend and come to socialize more next week. Okay, Iago? Maybe one day you come to socialize with me in one of my immersions as
I'm
well.
here almost every day now.
So you like me nowadays. We socialize online. I do the same.
Yes.
I'm an online socializer, I can say. But thank you very much and have a
Thank you.
nice
Have a nice
weekend.
weekend.